Now that the Golden State Warriors are officially in the offseason, I have one big question for you guys. If you want the Warriors to make a trade this offseason, whether it be a blockbuster trade or maybe just adding a couple of more assets to the Warriors, go ahead and like this video. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about here today. I've got two superstars that could come to the Bay Area. You're not going to want to miss it, so go on ahead and like this video. Mike Dunleavy is finally speaking out about the 2023-24 Warriors regular season and the one game they played in the postseason, but he's also looking ahead to what the Warriors can change this offseason to help make sure they try to get back on track to creating a dynasty. We're going to talk about that here on Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and coming up here, I want to break down two big names that could possibly come to the Bay Area, and I think this could absolutely elevate the Warriors to a new level. I think these are players that have a real chance of coming to play with one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Steph Curry. So, heading into that, Kendra Andrews did tweet out that Curry said, "I can never see myself not with Clay and Draymond. We've experienced so much together. But at the end of the day, I know they want to win. I know I want to win. And that's all I'm worried about." Steph Curry's a businessman. He wants to win. He has shown us that the last decade. He will do whatever it takes to become one of the best players in the game. So when you have a season like the Warriors just did, Curry's not going to be satisfied. So it does make me wonder that if there was ever to be a Draymond Green trade, a Andrew Wiggins trade, would Steph Curry be willing to put that friendship aside to say, hey, look, we need to do this for the team, because the Warriors need to rebuild around Steph. I know there have been a lot of things about maybe the Warriors could go younger, and I will talk about that more in the future, but I do think if you've got Steph Curry still playing in the NBA, you maximize everything while he's still there. And Colin Cowherd of Fox Sports did actually agree with me here. He said, look, Steph Curry needs someone next to him that can score 27 to 28 points a night minimum. I'd keep Steph. I'd keep Podziemski, I'd keep Draymond, and I would move everyone else. They do not have a ton of assets. Well, clearly, Colin Cowherd and I only agree on a few things, because I would definitely keep Jonathan Kuminga along with Steph Curry, maybe Brandon Podziemski, but I do think Moses Moody and a couple other players could be involved in a trade, but it makes me wonder who's actually out there that can provide what the Warriors need heading into the new regular season for the NBA. The Warriors need a true big. Holy cow, this request is so overdue. Second, they need secondary scoring. I do agree with Colin Cowherd in the fact that, yes, you should be having another player next to Steph Curry that can drop at least 27 points a night, knowing that Klay Thompson was the second leading scorer for the Warriors and he never even got into 20 points a game. Third, they can always use an impactful wing to really help out on that perimeter, so it's not all triple team Steph Curry, which is exactly what the Sacramento Kings did when he tried to shoot a three. Mike Dunleavy also spoke about what the Warriors need in this offseason, and he went on to say, I think we have enough good players in our system, we have enough assets to acquire good players, and we have the ability to keep getting better. So, given that, as long as those guys are still really good, I think we can contend and compete. Well, we're going to talk about two top targets that I think are going to pair well with Steph Curry to help those Warriors continue to compete. Because I know Warriors fans do not want to have another season like they just saw. So I'm going to break down two big names here in just a few moments. But until we get there, I do want to tell you guys about our sponsor here on Warriors Today, Prize Picks. I'm playing Prize Picks every single game day, especially right now around the NBA playoffs time. I love that Prize Picks offers promotions for some of the biggest days of the year and biggest sporting events of the year. Not to mention they constantly have Taco Tuesday and Flex Friday. Well, you do get to make your pick. It is protected. Win or get your money back. So my two plays here tonight, I'm going to go with the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls game. I think this really matches up in terms of access and assets. So I do think that Kobe White to have more than 20.5 points sounds pretty good to me. He dropped a 40-piece the other night against the Hawks. And Jaime Jaquez Jr., more than 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I want to see what Jaquez can do in the big lights. So here are my Prize Picks. Go on ahead and make yours. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy. Those two big names that could possibly decline their player option in this offseason and come to the Golden State Warriors would be LeBron James and Paul George. These names I have been hearing since I started watching the NBA. I think this would be a star-studded roster if either of these players came to help Steph Curry have some more NBA All-Star talent. But it's not just All-Star talent, it's also Olympic talent. As we know, Steph Curry was recently named to the 12-man roster of Team USA. He'll be competing in his first Olympics to represent his team. And what's really cool is that Curry and LeBron are going to play for Team USA. This is really going to give them a chance to kind of bond over the summer. They've always been rivals when it comes to the court. Plus, having Steve Kerr coach these two together could give LeBron James you know what? I like Steve Kerr's coaching play. I love the way that Curry plays on the court. Maybe I could team up with them. Maybe we can make something happen. Plus, LeBron James and Draymond Green are really close. Of course, each other went to their weddings. They've been friends off the court for a while. So I do think that LeBron James knows what he's getting if he is coming into this organization. We do know that they tried to go out and get him in February. LeBron wasn't quite ready to come to the Lakers, and the Warriors weren't ready to give up Jonathan Kuminga. So Colin Cowherd said the one guy that LeBron has told people he wants to play with is Steph Curry. I've heard him say this, especially when the dynasty was going on and LeBron was mixing and matching his teams between Cleveland and Miami, trying to figure out where he lands. Now he's with the Lakers. I do think that these two would make NBA fans so happy to see in the same uniform going side by side, not against each other. So if you want LeBron James to come to the Golden State Warriors, go ahead and like this video. You know he's got 3 kids. You know they're on YouTube. And what happens if one of his kids finds this video and he was like, oh, wow, a lot of Warriors fans want me to come play for them? Show him some love. Like this video down below. Plus, Paul George could also decline his player option heading into the 2024-25 NBA regular season. And Paul George went to Fresno State in Northern California. He's used to it. He's been playing for the Clippers for so long. He obviously understands what it's like to be in California. So if he comes to the Bay Area, Paul George does have a $48.7 million player option for 2024-25. There have been reports that he's expected to decline that offer. And if you were to be paid that much money, well, if you don't re-sign Klay Thompson, you waive Chris Paul's $30 million, you are going to open up a big salary for somebody like Paul George to be able to walk into and be able to take his spot. Plus, Joe Lacob also talked about the Warriors' financial status heading into this next season. And Joe Lacob says he wants the Warriors to get under the luxury tax this summer, which is projected around $172 million. So now that Lacob and Dunleavy know what they want to spend in this offseason, know where they're kind of getting at, because we also know that Mike Dunleavy says maybe don't overpay your salary and maybe go upwards of $400 million when it comes to all the salaries you got to take care of in one season. They're going to be really strategic this year with their money, and I do think that could end up being Paul George's. Plus, him staying with the Los Angeles Clippers, with Kawhi Leonard, with James Harden is really going to depend on what that number 4 seed will do in the NBA playoffs. If the Lakers make a huge run, if the Lakers are in the NBA Finals, Paul George is probably going to decline his player option and then extend his time in Los Angeles. So it really does depend on if he's happy or not with how the Clippers will play here in the postseason. That is a team you guys are going to want to watch if you want Paul George to come to the Warriors, which is my next question I have for you guys. Do you want Paul George to come to the Warriors? Or am I just talking crazy? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Have a conversation with me down below. That's why I love having this channel. And if you guys enjoyed this video, just go ahead and hit me a nice like as well. Likes help us out a lot of this channel. All you guys have to do, if you made it this far, hit that thumbs up button.